Good morning, everyone. I am Dr. Erandi from Plantation Villa, Sri Lanka. Today, we are going to talk about menstruation. Especially, I would like to say menstruation to the modern woman. Nowadays, the lifestyle has changed a lot. Women are equally working as well as men, and they still have to take care of the family. It's a feminine thing to look after your close ones. So we are carrying more responsibilities and performing really well, and still we have this feminine energy and some special functions happening in the body. Menstruation is like a very unique phenomenon, natural phenomenon happens in female body. And old days women took this more personally, and they had more time for themselves to do different rituals, take time and change their lifestyle. Nowadays maybe it's not possible to do that much, but still there are little things that we can change, maybe the way we look at it to begin with, and simple things like that, what we can adapt from this ancient Ayurvedic knowledge into our lifestyle to make more harmony, more connection towards this female energy, the menstrual cycle, and the hormonal changes related to that. And then you will see how how it will reward you. So this is what we are going to talk about today. Menstrual cycle is called Artava Chakra. Chakra means cycle. Artava is a wide, it's a term that explains different things. Simply, we can say it refers to the menstrual, especially ovarian hormones, ovum itself, the egg, and the menstrual flow, like the fluid that you eliminate from the vagina throughout the specific days of menstrual cycle. And these are the things that we can call Artava. So Artava Chakra is menstrual cycle. In Ayurveda, it says Artava Chakra, a healthy Artava Chakra is comes every moon cycle, every lunar month. Like with the moon, it appears once. So generally, like every 28 days. It doesn't have to be same to everyone. Nothing is like common. We are all unique people. But if your cycle is regular to you, it could be 28, 29, 30, 32. It's okay. In occasions, special occasions like right around your exam, some deadlines, some important family function, or something important to you, some achievement with the stress and change that affects with the stress and busyness or changes, it might slightly vary. It might be like little longer or shorter or heavier. It can happen because everything that happens around us within our mind affects our natural rhythms. Otherwise, if it is generally regular to the number that you are having every month, then it is your cycle, generally once a month, every moon cycle. And length is normally 3 to 5 days. In some texts, some authors, some ancient Ayurvedic teachers have said even 7 days can be considered into some women, especially with pitta predominant women, that they are normally carrying a little bit of extra heat and pitta. So pitta related with blood, and more blood, longer cycle can be normal in certain cases. And in the apart from the bleeding phase where you have the discharge, I think the rest of the month, normally nowadays women don't pay attention much. When you have the secretion discharge, you do the normal things that you do, but otherwise you don't pay attention. But the other time of the month, the rest of the time is also important, and if you pay attention, you will notice the changes. Ayurvedic menstrual cycle has 3 phases. Even the modern cycle has 3, but it divides into 2 main cycles in the modern science, uh, according to the hormonal main 2 hormones that plays main functional responsibilities. Ayurveda cycle has Rajaskala, Ritukala, and Rituvyatika Rajaskala is the phase where you have the discharge, where you start bleeding, and until the bleeding finishes, it's the Rajaskala. This time is the time that we said 3 to 5 or maybe 7. This is a time that predominantly Vata active. I think this phase we'll talk a little bit more, because there are a lot of women have problems or discomfort, or it is important to take special precautions to help the body to cope with this elimination. It's a cleansing process. This phase especially works with the cleansing. It eliminates certain things from the body, and even the modern researchers proves that women before menopause are less likely to catch up the chronic non-communicable diseases compared to men in the same age. So this is a cleansing process. It helps you to eliminate certain toxins and maintain the healthiness of the body. And this is a cleansing process, so let it happen. Even it is less common. The menstrual problems are less common in Asian countries, I guess, at least in Sri Lanka, than compared to the modern women. When I'm working with the women in the West, I see really huge number of problems that are not even common to the Sri Lankan community. So it's more. But still, even in Sri Lankan community, some girls come and say, I have this big event, what natural remedies I can do to delay the menstruation, stop it this month. So we are actually try to inhibit one major elimination cleansing process happening in the body. But if we can really find the connection between what to do, what not to do, how to cope with this discomfort and the other things, you will see you are capable of doing a lot of things. I would say this time is special. Take it like your me time. Take break from extra things. If you have to go to work, it's okay. You can do, but extra things. Staying awake at night, going out, maybe like extra exercises, anything that you don't have to do, take a break from those things. Instead of those things, do more things that you can take, like a reflecting. Even the Asian text said, take this time, like stay alone, eat less, because the Agni, the digestive strength is less in this time. So taking too much food, not so good. Eat light, eat less, especially things that go really well with Vata disorders, Vata dosha. Vata is dry and rough and hard, always give the opposite. So oily, unctuous, like simply like oily but not heavy. Light, simple, easy to digest things, and you can add digestive aids. Black pepper, ginger, garlic, they are supporting the digestive system and helping with the Agni. So these things you can consume more. So change your diet, starting with that. Eat less, eat simple. I do not mean you should not eat. Fasting is not so good. You have to eat regularly. Eat, don't delay, don't be too busy. Eat on time, eat regularly, and eat less, eat light, simple. Warm soup, a porridge, definitely cooked meals. Don't go for raw food. And it is ideal not to take animal products, especially heating type of animal products, beef, prawns, cuttlefish, all the shellfish. They are not really supporting Vata dosha. So if you consume something that aggravates Vata, it's going to give you more discomfort and trouble. It's not just with the pain, actually the elimination process, the downward movement of the uterine debris, like dead tissues from the uterus, and flow outside to the body, downward movement is controlled by Apana Vata. Apana Vata is the type of Vata that stays in the pelvic area, and it controls. Apana Vata's function says Shukra, Artava, Shakun, Mutra, Garbhi, Nishkamana, Kriya. All these functions of elimination of sperm, seminal fluid. Artava means menstrual discharge, ovum, and the fetus, everything eliminating from the pelvic area is controlled by Apanavata. So we have to support Apanavata, keep it calm and happy and friendly. So overloading food is not good. And if it moves harmoniously, peacefully outward, you will not have at least actually discomfort. We have to be careful about vata in this time, so eat according to vata balancing diet. You can stay with us with our videos. We will be doing more about dosha in the coming videos, so you will know what vata is and what are the good things to eat for vata. The other thing that aggravates vata is movement. If you move too much, unnecessary movement, all the unnecessary movements, stop. Don't do too much exercise, especially like things that moves the flow upward. Headstands, any introvert movement, jumping, climbing, running too fast, not good. Just a gentle walk is nice exercise, and you can do simple things, especially focus on the breathing and help with the energy flow of the body. You will feel that the lower body is working on elimination, so support that activity. Even lying down in the daytime, sleeping is actually prohibited in Ayurveda. So when you are having the menstrual discharge, don't sleep during the day. It says take me time, take it slow, relax, but it doesn't mean sleep during daytime, because lying down position is also not facilitating the flow. So you have to at least sit straight, keep your spine straight in the nice position, sit, and then you can do reading, thinking, journaling, painting, listen to music. All these things are good nowadays. Like those days, even like doing makeup, doing kajal, like mascara, also not recommended. It says like take it for you, no need to like dress up and go out. Just take this time as a break for you, stay relaxed. You can do the same, like take this time for you and enjoy the break from extra work, and eat healthy, do slow movements, and you can do oil application, but not all the body. If you are menstruating, apply oil maybe on the feet, legs, maybe lower abdomen, and massage downwards. You can use sesame oil or castor oil, both very good for the menstrual days. Warm oil always facilitating and balancing vata. Massage downwards, and just stay calm. Extra activity is prohibited, and also the mental activities, even talking and thinking too much, advised not to do. So agitated mind can aggravate vata. When vata is aggravated, its functions are not happening, and imbalanced vata always brings pain. Ayurveda says na vatena vinashula. There's no pain without vata. So when vata is imbalanced, it brings pain. Pain is not something that we want in the menstrual cycle. So keep the vata happy and balanced, so you will not have discomfort. The Shuddha Artava, healthy menstruation, says it's without pain, without burning sensation, and it is a bright color, not extra long flow, not extra heavy flow, not too light and scanty also. So medium flow and bright red color, like a Lodra, Laksha. There are given examples for the color. It also say the color of the rabbit's blood. Those are the simple examples given those color those days, but it clearly says like bright red color, not too dark, not too light. And it says old days women used cotton clothes as the replacement of the sanitary pads. It says if it is stained in a cotton cloth, when you wash it should go away without keeping any stain, without leaving any mark. So if it is making stain in any of the fabrics, it is also a sign that it is not so healthy. Those are the things that was given in the books, because those days those are the things that were women were concerned. Nowadays we have more advanced methods of menstrual management, so we can go with that. It's okay. Do what is healthy and accessible, but the behavior, physical, mental and spiritual, all three aspects, keep it calm, keep it balanced, be happy. It's a very important thing to manage with pain. Take break, but also be happy. 3 to 5 to 7 days time, eat water balancing diet, and behave lightly, gently, like a breeze. So very calm, very quiet, and also don't be shy or afraid to ask for changes if it is possible. Like you can tell your family, like today I'm not like really uh, available for those things, so take a break, make some excuse. It's nothing to be afraid or ashamed. And in if you have to perform like work wise, if you have to do it, but everything that you can push away these 3 days, take it away and reflect on the past month, what you have done, your achievements, your goals, how to align, and also our mental aspect. We have to kind of mirror how good I was, what were the things that I did wrong. And it's not about worrying and grieving, it's more about what to improve, how to change. I was holding too much, I should let it go. I was not really focused, I have to bring back my focus and I have to improve on this. I was doing this really well, but this and this I could do more. Like that, reflect on your life, reflect on your mind, reflect on your health, and little improvements that you can make about your diet, living healthy, overall life. Reflect, journal these days, and compare how you feel. All these things really help you to make a nice communication with your body. The most noticeable phase is the Rajaskala, the bleeding phase, and keep Vata happy and calm. Little things that are common as menstrual disorders or problems, we'll talk in the end. So we'll move into the next phase. After Rajaskala, the Ritukala. Ritu is season. Seasonal behavior is says Ritucharya. So Ritu is the season. It's like fertile season. So you are ready to mate, and this is Kapha dominant phase. You have Kapha, and with Kapha you get nourishment, calm. So all the nourishing, beautiful, good things about nourishment of Kapha will be there. Even the text says the women in fertile phase, Ritukala, is quoted differently, like Pina Prasanna Vadana, like really nice quotes, like she looks happy, bright, joyous, and anxious toward the sexual activity. So she's like showing physically a little glow, happy, active, energetic. So this is the time you need to do explore, happy, and enjoy. Stay active a little bit, because this is a kapha phase. If kapha goes too high, it might give a little bit of retention, stagnation. Being active is actually really good for kapha, and this is the time you need to use contraception if you are not planning to conceive. But we highly recommend natural methods. If you can track your cycle, your body temperature, there are natural ways to track your cycle. Just use some barrier method, something healthy, something that do not interfere with your hormones. So use something. If you are planning to conceive, this is the time to be sexually active, so you will have a healthy child. Intercourse in the Rajaskala, the secretory, like when you have the menstrual discharge, is prohibited in Ayurveda. It says those days don't do any sexual activity. Wait until you finish the menstruation and enter to the Ritukala, and this is the time to be sexually active. Kapha phase, happy, enjoy, be active, do more exercise, still eat healthy, because if you conceive, you are delivering healthy elements to the child that is growing inside. Eating healthy is a general concept, but here you need to be very careful as a woman, because if you conceive, you are carrying another life, so you have to nourish that life properly. This is the time to do all your extra activities, go out, enjoy life. This is the good phase. It lasts about 12 to 16 days. So this phase is the active phase. Then we are entering to the Ritu Vyatita Kala. The phase between Rajas and Ritu Kala is the Ritu Vyatita Kala. So if you are expecting to conceive, this time is also important. Maybe you have conceived, so you are already carrying the child. Otherwise, you can just continue the behavior of the previous cycle. But after 12 to 16 days of the Ritu Kala, the phase after menstruation, you are entering the Ritu Vyatita Kala, which is dominating Pitta. Pitta is the metabolic element, the fire. You bring up things, build up things, control things, break down things. So if you conceive, Pitta's job is to nourish and maintain, nourish the newly growing fetus. If you are not conceived, it will break down all the tissues that was readily available to accept the fetus, and it will do the breaking down part. Anyway, the Pitta is the major predominant part in the Ritu Vyatita Kala. So like 10-12 days before menstruation is the time for Pitta. This is where you get actual troubles with premenstrual syndrome. Like Pitta is there, you will feel irritable, there will be maybe acne, loose stool, digestive discomfort, and maybe you have cravings and increased appetite because of Pitta. So this is the time to watch regarding Pitta. If you are having issues with premenstrual syndrome, and if they are specially related, they are most of the time related with Pitta. There are some other specific cases we need to consider the case and the person. We cannot really generalize anything, but this is Pitta time. So reduce spicy food, reduce Pitta aggravating food. You will have more appetite, but don't necessarily follow your cravings. If you are having a sweet craving, just a little bit of healthy sweetness. Bee honey is a really good thing to satisfy the sweet cravings, but not really heavy things. Let's say like a piece of cake with cream and chocolate. It's too heavy. It's maybe satisfy the sensation of the sugar craving, but it's not going to do well in the metabolism process. You are like having unnecessary heavy particles, and that might create armor, the half digested, undigested byproducts of digestion. So it's going to mess up the next phase, which is the Rajas Kala, where you can have the lacking of Agni, tendency to have more armor, and also like heaviness is not doing well with Vata. So be careful with the cravings. Listen to your body. If it is asking for some sweetness, give some healthy sweetness. It's totally fine. No need to be very strict and hard on yourself. And all these changes, more you notice it, more you will be able to accept the change and then help the body. But stay with the healthy things, especially if you are expecting to conceive, you are nourishing your child. For the Pitta management, it's always good to go with the like vegetarian, at least avoiding meat items in this Pitta phase, because Pitta brings aggression and anger. So especially hot meat like beef, buffalo, again shellfish, they are increasing Pitta. And also like anything acidic, anything too hot in nature, not so good. Eat more like green vegetables. Leafy greens are really good for Pitta, and it is going to nourish if you are conceived. So it's delivering you a lot of healthy things. Because you have the fire, you will be able to digest, but it doesn't mean you should fill yourself up with the heavy, hard, unnecessary things. The other thing about Pitta is Pitta has strength and weakness both in the mind as well. Healthy, balanced Pitta brings clarity. So you have the fire, use it wisely. So if you let it blast, you will be like angry, aggressive, like people can tell that you are on this phase of the cycle. If you use it into the right way, meditate, deep breathing, and start that reflection little bit earlier. You can be active, you can go out, it doesn't bother with the Pitta, but you have to do this cooling, calming, enlighten your mind. So meditation, deep breathing exercises. Actually, moonlight is really good remedy for Pitta. If you are lucky to have this phase in the moon phase of the month, go out and lay down in the moonlight, walk in the moonlight, walk at night, anywhere with or without moon. Cooling breeze and cooling nature in the early morning and night, you associate that more, you will feel the calming, cooling nature is building up in the body. If you direct the Pitta in the right way in the mental aspect, that brings clarity. So your decision making, your designing, thinking, planning abilities are more. Just don't let it become the cloud. Just open it and let it show you the path. Use Pitta wisely and you will have less problems with premenstrual syndrome and Pitta related problems, and you will enjoy more of that mind clarity and the fieriness inside the body. Here we talk briefly about menstruation. And one thing that comes to our mind is nowadays women take menstruation as an obstacle, like a burden. This is really like, oh, not now, like that. But we are putting more of our achievements in front and leaving our natural body mechanism behind. Especially when you are having the first period, it's called Rajodarshana in Ayurveda, starting from age 11, 12, can go up to like 16. But still, the pituitary is not fully matured until around age 20. In some cases it happens earlier, but in general we can say until 20 the pituitary gland is not achieved its full maturation. So even the body's natural rhythm is trying to figure out the right balance of the hormone production. It's a complex mechanism of hormones: pituitary ovarian axis, hypothalamus, we say HPO axis. So it's a lot of different head places, like headquarters of the body, communicating to figure out the right rhythm, right balance. So if you are interrupting this ongoing balancing procedure with some artificial hormones, it's going to mess up the natural ability of balancing it on your own. I would say like it's very important thing to be concerned about contraception, but try to stay away from things that disturb your natural balance. Especially at this early age, we are not really like regularly highly active. If it is random, so just use something like a barrier method, which is giving you more protection against like sexual transmitted diseases. Also, taking the pill is only like preventing you from getting pregnant, but if you use barrier methods, condoms, you will have protection against sexually transmitted diseases also, especially for teenage girls, like young adults. This is much more beneficial. You will be safe, and also you have nothing to worry about the pregnancy concern. So use something that do not interrupt your body's balance, which is still ongoing, and until you need it, you don't really appreciate it, you try to push it away. That's what happens in the modern world. Ayurveda says, the Kashyapa Samhita quotes it really nicely. It says, the fruit that is going to be generated from the flower, it is not visible in the flower. So you can't see the fruit, you can't see what it's going to be by looking at the flower. The same way, you cannot feel the fire, the heat that is going to be generated from the wood without the action. It has to work together, like rub it together, the wood pieces, then you will see fire, the heat producing in the wood. Otherwise you don't see wood and fire, no relation, you don't see. The same way, shukra artava shukra shronita in shukra in men, like sperm, seminal fluid, hormones in men, and female hormones and ovum and the menstrual flow, you don't see its purpose unless it is achieved to the right time and maturity and previous actions. So the previous actions means our behavior, our thoughts, our concern towards the hormonal balance in the body. Even old days, like they were not really busy with the professional life. When you achieve maturity, when you start having period, your family will prepare you for having a family, educate you about a sexual relationship and becoming a mother and taking care of a family, and you will get married and have children soon, definitely sooner than nowadays. But still, it explains the importance of being careful and taking care of your body and your hormones and menstrual cycle and the flow, because the advantages of the balance is going to come later. You don't see it now, you just see like something going out of the body, just use something to manage with the flow and the discomfort. You just don't see further until you think about having a child, conceive. Then maybe it's a little bit late. Luckily, in some cases, taking long-term hormonal contraceptive pills or other hormonal methods do not influence with the fertility, but not always. So why take a risk when you have other options? Be careful, track your cycle, be mindful, be aware about what you're doing and what you're planning with your life. So having more control will help you with more wholesome awareness about your body, what's happening there, where, which phase of the cycle you are at, do you need to be careful, or what food to eat, what are the behaviors that are good at the moment and what are the things that do not go well with your body. So it is actually coming back to the fundamental self-care in a deeper level. So you are taking care of yourself, you have to have the power and the strength to choose whether you want to do this or not. So taking the contraceptive and which contraceptive, and be make the priority your health more than anything else. So take the healthiest method of contraception, eat the healthiest food, and adjust your priorities in life according to your cycle, and you will see how much of change it will make in your life, your feeling. Track your cycle, and when you feel like irritable, you relate, okay, my pitta is working, so I need to cool down my pitta and do some changes in lifestyle, and like help the body to cope with the changes and be aware, and you will see how things change. When we talk about the discomfort related to menstruation, I would like to explain you some simple home remedies, little things you can change, but always it's a complex procedure and it will take little time. So don't expect it to do a magical transformation in one cycle. When you do like 2 days this home remedy, it is going to change everything. It will take time, but help the body. Keep trying, keep giving, and it's about the whole month. It's about identifying which phase and what works, and what to avoid. Before we step into the discomfort and the home remedies, I would like to mention something that is important, the spirituality. Spirituality is like a unique concept. In simple form, we can say what please you inside, like happiness, the joy, the giving, and pleasant state of the self. So always have that in the back of your mind whenever you are planning moving ahead with your life. When you are having a child, it is one important thing for a woman, especially for a woman, to think about. Engage yourself with your spirituality and ask for a good healthy child, what kind of child you are willing to have. Before that wish, it says you have to be more motherly in nature. So preparing yourself with spirituality is going to bring more light that lead you ahead with your path to your destination, as long as it's a good um, harmless to anyone else. Spirituality should come. Always engage yourself throughout the cycle, especially when it is hard with Pitta, when you are a little bit more aggressive and angry. Control your emotions, be friendly, be nice, and you will see the body's rewarding you with good changes. One thing that comes with the menstruation is little bit before. Kapha can bring a little bit of stagnation, water retention. You feel bit swollen and bloated and lethargic. So if you are having these symptoms, it's not for everyone. If you are having these symptoms, it's important to know that it's kapha, mostly doing like sore breasts and swollen nature. Take kapha reducing formulas like ginger, black pepper, long pepper, turmeric. These things really helpful to keep the circulation. And cinnamon, especially very good with the circulation promotion, and it is opening up the body. Try these things. If you're taking any spice to make a herbal tea, take like half a teaspoon. So you can make cinnamon tea, turmeric tea, and ginger tea. Add black pepper in your meals. Coriander is also good, but these previously mentioned things work more effectively with the retention. It's kapha working. So if you feel lazy and heavy, put more effort to yourself and be active and drink warm beverages. Don't go for cold beverages. Try to manage with these things. If you are having more serious complications, of course you need to consult Ayurvedic physician or any naturopath, and they will guide you with more herbal remedies that are specifically benefit for you. We spoke about the premenstrual symptoms. So this is more like mental physical combination that comes with pitta. Anything that is cooling is going to help you. So coriander leaves are cooling, so you can eat that more. Even basil leaves comes quite helpful for a lot of women. It is kind of little bit specific from person to person. Generally it's pitta, so things that cool down like coconut oil, they are more cooling. You can consume those things. And vegetables, leafy greens and dark green vegetables are good. If you are having pain, there's vata behind that. You can use coriander seeds, especially ajwain, cumin seeds, black sesame seeds. They are all helpful. So make it simple. Do not need to combine so many things. Say take one at a time and make a tea. Drink warm tea during the menstrual cycle. If you know that you are going to have strong pain, be prepared a little bit before. Pain is coming from vata, but it can be because of the blockage. It's blocked and it's not working properly. The other reason behind pain is can be constipation. We are working with the pelvic area. Any blockage in that area might aggravate vata and create pain. If you are having constipation, especially with the menstrual phase, take some triphala powder or anything that gives a loose bowel movement. That will help you to keep the flow open. If you are having a less blood, like scanty menstruation, little bit of a flow and it gives a lot of discomfort, it's because of the stagnation again mostly, or maybe it's lacking the hormonal balance. So then you can use aloe vera, Komarika in Sinhalese, aloe vera gel or aloe vera water Nowadays like fresh aloe vera water is available, so if it is water, take 1 teaspoon 2 times a day. If it is fresh gel, just take the middle gel and eat 1 teaspoonful in the morning and afternoon. But please remember, this is a generalized remedy, and generalizing is not really common in Ayurveda. We are trying to give you some healthy tips, like it's not going to do any harm by eating a little bit of aloe vera. So we are keeping it in that level. If you are having serious complications, always meet a doctor and get more support that is more personalized to you. These are the discomfort related things. So manage the whole cycle, enjoy the changes happening in the body, and take this as a opportunity to reflect and take a break. Old days, it was a really good excuse to stay away from other things that you normally have to do. Even the spiritual like religious things, they said you don't have to do, you don't have to do anything, just take your time. Nowadays that break and the relaxation comes like a luxury to a lot of people, like you can't really have it. But do your best, try your best, and pay attention to your health. Health is the greatest wealth you can make, and pay attention to the menstrual cycle and your hormonal balance, and you will see how easy and how comfortable it will be for you to deal with the changes. If you have any questions, anything, comment. Have a good day. Wish you good health and happiness. I will.